talk about the most beautiful game. And as always, we focus on home fixtures before we even go international, because international is little that is happening. Setule Tigashire, Mawuya. My name is Valentine Mapudu, and of course I never walk alone. I've got Doubt is back with no doubt at all, seated on my far right. That's good day and welcome.
Oh, thank you, my brother. How was your weekend?
The weekend was a tiring one, 1,000 kilometers to travel right across the country, but worth the while nonetheless.
It was great for you to be globe-trotting around Zimbabwe.
And of course, like a beaver, he's the Bevan of the conversation. Bevan Ndiraya, it's good to have you. As always, never walking alone, but with us today.
Yeah, as long as you prefix everything with that nonsense from Liverpool, don't expect me to be smiling. But anyway, you will see that there is a road that will lead us somewhere this season. So you can gloat all you want and
you can
be on that high horse. But you know, I know.
We'll come down off the high horse.
Of course.
At some point in time.
With a heavy third.
That's what they used to say when they were winning. We always told them that, but they never believed. But nonetheless, gentlemen, let's come to Zim Footy. And it keeps getting better. Looking at the mega signings that Scotland continue to make. I can't say that they've done, but they continue to make. Morpheus from Highlanders, after almost making God knows we will retire from football. You know, driven past him like he wasn't in existence whatsoever, like he was a novice on the football pitch. He gets signed by Scotland. There is also, knowledge, the silent assassin in Musona. That's it.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, I want to go for 1984 repeat. Black Rhinos.
You know what? I would concur that's likely going to happen. And I'll be frank with you. I said it, I think, in our last episode that I really think Scotland will win this. Why? My reasons were, you want to look at the squad that they have. The caliber of players that Scotland has these are the kind of players that you need at this stage of the game, where it can be very nervy, but you've got players that you've gone through the mill, that they are tried and tested, they can, just get over the mark. Now it's going to be even better for them because signing of Ngezi, whom I personally regard as one of the finest footballers to ever emerge out of this country. He ranks just a little lower than, the league of Peter Love. He's somewhere just below. He's just below. Because this is a guy, I think any serious defender is having nightmares now. Okay, how do we contain this guy? So the problem with knowledge is, even if he's not scoring from within the box, the dead balls are very dangerous. So this is a guy that is going to give Scotland a whole new dimension. In fact, what I appreciate and like about Scotland, I know people have got whatever feelings that they have out there, but what we cannot take from them is how they have changed the face of Zimbabwean football. Now, imagine the value that they are bringing into the league. Because if you have got within your ranks, Knowledge Musona, Kama Billiard, Terence Zukamanja, value-wise, it's unfortunate that we don't look at things from a commercial perspective usually. But value-wise and commercially, you're looking at players that have value. Imagine how many clubs down in Zanzibar would want the signature of Knowledge Musona right now. You get it. Of course, we have said, especially in the midfield.
Yeah, I know midfield. So they never win anything.
So I think now Scotland, they have positioned themselves.
So Keza Makara, you win. Trust you, we can.
I know one day.
Everyone, Uncle Keza to sign a Zimbabwean midfielder 2 or 3. Trust you, you win the league.
So you look at them now and think now they're just a point away from the top spot. which is a very healthy position for them to be. You don't really need to be the number one at this stage with 11 games. You just be there. Don't lose. Especially now. Yeah, I don't compare. Those are your words. But I feel MWOS, what they need to do now, this is when I think even during the mid-season transfer window, what they should have done, if you ask me, was to get 1 or 2 players that has crossed the line before.
Quality players.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of quality, they are a very good side. But I'm saying in terms of experience-wise, you want somebody who has done it before. For example, I'll give you, Godwin Muriel has done it. He's not going to be overwhelmed by the situation. I don't know how many times.
But now, if you look at the signings that Scotland are still making, and they've made some signings. Yes, they've bought in Musona, which is a big plus. Not in terms of on the field, also off the field marketing.
Yeah,
everybody wants to watch that guy. He's now 35, and believe you me, he's not yet on his last legs.
Yeah,
his experience is going to be needed, and if the rest of the guys can tap into that experience and use it wisely, they can go further. But if it does not work now, there are too many stars in that team.
When you say there are too many stars,
the balance.
Are they signing because
when you bring in knowledge in Musona, you have brought the star. Whoever was there was a star, yes, a star, but this is the star. The star. Yes. But now, from yesterday, the narrative or the discourse centers around knowledge.
That's why I said that.
Do you believe that Michael Nisi will be a happy man? To say yes, I think like he's got a compact team.
Yeah,
taking like if you remember, Egypt winning AFCON
for 3 years.
It was
three consecutive tournaments.
Because of Zamanek and now you've got Mamelodi Sundowns, South Africa as well. Do you think Michael is looking at that? This should be something that he's smiling at and saying, "This is what I want. I want these guys to be playing together, have this telepath, understanding and cohesion."
I believe Emagumeni had influence in that. I believe. Because as a coach, from my own perspective, as a coach, you need your players to gel well before a major tournament. We are only left with about 4 months before AFCON, and you need Kamabiliad playing together with Musona. You need Kamabiliad playing together with Musona and Zukamanja. These are 3 players already who play in the national team, and if we are also is there. How many players are going to come out of Scotland? Maybe 8 players, and those 8 players playing for the first 11, it means we've got a recipe for a good meal. And I believe that if we can have proper players being in a very good setup like Scotland, playing week in, week out, they avoid injuries, they pick role towards the tournament. I see Zimbabwe as the national team going through to the semi-finals.
Let's talk about Bevan.
Semis.
AFCON. If we start going there. Now let's look at Ndiraya. I want you to analyze. He's the one who's got the headache of making sure that this lasts.
Not just a headache, a positive.
Because he's spoiled for choice, and the expectation even grows even higher with the signings that they're having. But also, there are also those players that are emerging. For me, impressive so far in the last 5 games has been Albert Manenji. Let's look at the headache that Ndiraya has and his impressive run. 4 wins out of 5 so far. Crucial wins for that matter, for them to be 1 point behind the local leader Simba Bhora.
It's like I said before the previous episode, it wasn't easy.
Yeah.
That was not a team at the beginning. It was just people meeting to play, kick and rush football. But towards the middle part of the season, they started to gel. They started to come up with better play. performance-wise on the field of play. On a bad day, they will grind a win. On a good day, they would massacre you.
That's a good coach.
Yeah, that's a good coach. Now, as you can see with Ndiraya, with the addition of Mafia's Sugar, and also, the smelling assassin, Musona, coming back to Zimbabwe. This is going to be a big nut to crack for him. But if he gets it right, I don't see anybody stopping Scotland except for FC Platinum. That can be a game changer.
That's a big game for them.
That game can be a big game changer for them.
Let's look at the slump of Simba Bhora and MWOS. Simba Bhora drawing against Manica Diamonds, slipping there when they needed to really, that bad patch. Scotland went through it, and I've got a feeling that they've had their bad patch. They're now on their purple patch. Then you've got, MWOS as well, going through a bad patch that they need to arrest as soon as possible as well. Your take in terms of these two slumping and what it presents to Scotland as well as FC Platinum. They're back into this, and we know Norman Mapeza, when he comes to the run-in, is one of the best performers, proven on record that when it is the run-in, he can be very deadly, and we've seen how he's been picking up points with some would call an average squad of some sort, so to speak.
I will start from the FC Platinum thing. Anybody who knows FC Platinum and Norman Mapeza will realize that they have no status. There is a process to whatever happens at FC Platinum and Norman Mapeza. So it sometimes takes time for players to master what the coach wants. And hence you look at the results. Over the years, if you look at the current squad and compare it with the squads that they have had, yes, it may not be as strong in terms of names.
Right.
It may not be as strong as was the case before, but in terms of culture and style of play, I think Norman Mapeza is close to what? How many years at FC Platinum? He's been there for quite some time. So, yeah, cumulatively it could be 10. So,
left period, but
you've got to understand, this is what longevity gives you. He is able to affect the club. He's able to bring a system into the club. So you realize that when you get to
the love and hate system within the club and fans also, don't forget that. him himself, when the fans, they are not like fish and water. It's oil and water.
That's news to me. That's news to me because having traveled to Mandava on a number of occasions myself, having interviewed the fans, I think this is one person that they love so much.
They now appreciate him.
Here's the thing.
He's got a proven track record.
What you've got to realize about, I'll tell you,
it might frustrate the fans.
I'll tell you two coaches who are similar in certain aspects. It's Norman Mapeza and Chitembo. They are not going to change because the whole stadium is singing. They are not going to change because every media publication is telling a particular story. If they have a certain principle, they will stick to that. If they have a certain view of things, that's who they are. You can't change that. So sometimes
the English word is stubborn.
You see, the problem also. I understand. You know what? You can use that word. You can use that word, but you've got to unpack the context to say, is it negative, or is somebody who's saying, okay, just to digress a bit, it's like Ruben Amorim. He's saying, I'll stick to what I want to do. So you do.
But Evan, if you look at Norman Mapeza and Chitembo, I believe where they came from also helped them to be who they are today. Remember, their days the guarantee issue. They learned a lot. They learned a lot. Even the way they coach, the way they coach, they don't just panic.
Yeah.
When things are not going well, they stick to what they believe is right. The style of play, they continue with that.
That's the thing. So this is one guy that at this stage
deadly in the
yes, because they take time, but once they get into the groove, they become a problem. But you now coming back to your so-called in quotes slumber from these are the teams, MWOS and Simba Bhora. You also want to look at the fixtures.
All right.
Right.
Okay.
You're talking about, let's talk about the last game that Simba Bhora played. They were playing against a relegation threatened team. At this stage, yeah,
it's not easy.
Yeah, at this stage, it's easier to play FC Platinum than to play Manica Dynamos.
Because Manica play Dynamos, everyone is chanting Dynamos.
Well, Dynamos is Dynamos nowadays. It's a special case that
everyone is putting Quaker United.
No, not Dynamos. But here's the thing. It's easier to play a title chasing than a relegation threatened team. I mean, it was
easier to play those games.
Yeah, but someone who's threatened, it's like when you're about to die.
Chicken in, triangle,
chicken in will beat you now. They'll beat you to a pulp because they have to, literally run away from that. You get it. So it's not really a slumber. MWOS, you're playing against ZPC Caliber. But you see, you've got to attach respect to your rentals. I've seen people because they probably have a bond to chew with honorable innocent means playing in the team, which is easy anyway. But you've got to attach respect to your rentals. They are actually a very good side in terms of they have got a rentals way of doing things, but it's paying dividends.
I think it helps them to have Ndara playing
their culture.
There's extra effort.
It's not their culture.
Yeah.
So when MWOS draw with them, when MWOS draw with them
from the other players
times two.
You see now.
When MWOS draw with them, it's not really an issue. It happens because MWOS were away.
No, we were at home.
They were in God. Yeah, but MWOS had to come back from behind.
Yes.
It tells you, but also it tells you marks of.
That's a slump.
No,
it can be a slump, yes. But also, if you look at the quality of goals the two teams scored, they were not just flop goals.
Yeah.
They were well-drilled goals. I believe, people underestimate Rangers.
Yes, true.
This game also, Rangers in Scotland.
It's going to be a big one.
They're friends. Yeah. Remember that.
Yeah, but I'm saying
they're two friends.
It's a big game.
So when the Rangers went to
Scotland.
Yeah, in 2 weeks after the.
It's going to be another massive game.
Rangers will lose.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
There's
no stopping Scotland at this stage. I'm telling you.
Also, my belief, only two teams might stop Scotland.
The good thing,
3 actually. Ngezi Platinum?
No.
FC Platinum?
No. Yes, that's a possibility.
MWOS, the game between MWOS and Scotland is going to be.
This time around, Scotland is.
It's in Harare.
Are you sure, you guys? Are you sure?
My guy. You see the advantage of
the win. Kana tukamanja katamba.
Komsona.
The coach
knows what to do. I don't worry about that. These are CAF A holders. They are not Mickey Mouse coaches. But what I'll tell you is, at this stage, those guys, they know how to win these games. I mean, look, you've got Kevin Moy. He has won it before. Yeah. You've got Godus Murray. He has won it before. Ronald Pumbidza has won it before. Walter Musona, I don't know how many times. Kama Billiard, I mean, there is no stage here that will frighten Kama Billiard. I mean, he shook Africa.
Yeah.
You get it? So,
not just Africa, remember, he also shook Manchester United. Your team.
You know what? That's a discussion for another day. It depends on how we decide to shoot.
Let's get into the relegation battle. I know at the apex there, I will ask you at the end who you feel is going to be in the top 4. But let's go to the relegation battle. We know it's done. Kwekwe are going down. It's almost, and
they're out.
Yeah. Dynamos, if they lose the next 2 games, it will be done.
Okay, they're playing. They're playing Moose.
And Triangle as well. And Triangle are picking up points at home like no man's business, and they are really battling. Remember, they used to anchor the lock, and they are slowly getting out of there. All right. Manica Diamonds in trouble as well. They are not winning at home. They are not scoring enough for survival, because what's lacking for them is the goals. Beautiful football, but the goals are not coming for them. Then you've got Green Fuel, who might be in danger because they're blowing hot and cold here and there. Chicken In.
No, Green Fuel, no.
Chicken In are starting to pick up. All right. Then Bikita as well.
They're going down.
They're going off. They are on a bad patch.
They're going down.
They're going down.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Right. So those 5. So guys, let's look at the relegation, how you're seeing it. Let's start with
Yeah.
Let's quick the discount.
Well done to Kwekwe. They've been able to fulfill the fixtures. We'll say bye-bye to them. Like today, they will not come back next season to the Premier League. Hey, Dynamos. Sekuti akatata muramba utori madhaka unotadza kutobuda utoda shura uroti ungota ubudiswe, but as it stands Dynamos inogoiserwa nani bora? That's the biggest question, because for you to survive relegation.
They're the strikers coach. What happened?
Are you sure?
Yes, they're the strikers coach.
Then
our employer is strikers coach.
Maybe
former prolific
striker.
Actually, he outscored. Listen, Robert Lewandowski at some point. They are strikers coach.
Sometimes the biggest problem is being a football player and being
I was just telling you who.
Now I know him, but please, Ken.
Yeah, right.
It's not even about him.
Let's go.
Like the politics currently, Dynamos are in a panic mode. The players themselves, they don't have the confidence. Are you sure? You see? Same road.
Same road. Defunct.
But now Zimbabwe is still in the background saying we are coming back, we are coming back.
That will be the Dynamos case. It's because of the boardroom issues. Zim says we want to buy a franchise, but somebody will come and interfere. You can't. Dynamos will be the same. In Ireland, people will rise. When Mario to say, okay, send the sponsors will come, you can't. But it will be way
down the drain.
Going in the drain.
So myself, I'm saying,
same problems.
Kwekwe, Dynamos,
right.
Another candidate is Yada.
Never! In capital letters, never!
Today I say never.
Yes!
Today I say never. But mark my words.
Yes.
This is about to happen. This is about to happen.
I will tell you, in capital letters, Dynamos may actually be relegated. Not Yada. You are joking. You are joking.
With their heart, they are going to see one. If they want to be using those things, they'll be using the countries.
This guy is not
right. Okay,
he says Dynamos. He said
Dynamos.
Yada.
Let's go for the 4th one.
I'll go for Manica.
This guy.
All right. Open. Right.
With their score.
How to circle minutes at 4. Maybe I think you're sport.
I just wanted to. I wanted to reiterate. There is no way that is going out. Never. You're joking.
Let's have your
I understand why he's saying that they'll never go out.
I know Yada.
Are you sure?
They are a very good side.
Oh, they're very
good.
Okay.
And Kwekwe is obviously going down.
Yeah.
They're down.
Triangle is going down.
Triangle?
Yes. Whatever you're going to say, this is not.
These team these days. They keep on
okay.
Instead of 5-4-3.
It's okay. It's okay.
All right. Triangle.
Kwekwe. Triangle. You've got what's this? Bikita Minerals. They're going.
Are you sure?
I'm telling you.
Those guys play beautiful football. That's one squad.
Yabo had beautiful football.
I will tell you that's a team that most squads would love for it to be relegated so that they can buy their players cheap. Because I think some of those lads are would be Kita.
You don't need the relegated, you can just get them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Pikita.
Definitely not Yada.
Okay.
Definitely not Chicken Inn.
So be Dynamos.
I can't see that happening.
So
Personally, no, with Grievous Musona, you're joking.
Right.
They're never going to get relegated. So Manica Dynamos is in serious trouble. They have to up their game. If they don't, they will go down. So it's 4.
Aye, what's up?
Quick. Triangle, Bikita, Manica, if they don't change. Because somehow, I've got a feeling, is it the cosmos, the universe or something, who find a way of saving Dynamos?
Wow.
But not this time.
Yeah, you can say that. But the biggest joke of all the episodes that we have had on this podcast is somebody saying, you're never going to beat Greenfield at home. It was a miracle that FC Platinum Nigeria did that. Greenfield at home in Chisuma.
They're playing well there. But
they're playing well.
They're going down.
All right.
I will tell you again in capital letters, never.
But isn't it time for Dynamos to realize the reality that this?
Yeah, I think in the next 2 days.
Yeah.
There are certain things that are going to happen.
Yeah.
Like today's not the 28th.
Yeah.
29th.
Yeah.
So between today and the close of window, I understand there's serious movement. You'll be shocked at who's going to be in Dynamos. And who will be shocked? Who will be on the field of play? Believe you'll be shocked. So
that's the reality for Dynamos.
If they bring in quality players,
yes,
as it stands right now,
let me tell you, at this kind of team, at this time,
there's no plan. I feel the weakness also. You go to
DeMbare. You go to Islanders. There's a culture. There's a system. You go to Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates. There's a culture.
Let's not exaggerate cultures and systems.
No. Many people today don't understand the culture of Dynamos. They only just want to come and play and go.
How many? So guys, you agree? Dynamos moves. Let's give them until the 30th. Says Bevan, and doubts saying reality might sink in. But now the head for the new PSL chairman because he might be forced to increase the teams if another cash cow goes down, or maybe the tricep Dynamos. Zim Football Tex walks in there and he's the new chairman, and there's a lot that the PSL needs to do. What is the first protocol that you think he needs to address as the PSL chairman? There's been a bit of a gap. They have an acting chief executive officer, something to substantiate, make sure he's permanent, or get someone substantive. Also, looking at issues to do with following the FIB rules for the PSL teams. There's certain things. There's a lot of compromise in our PSL system that needs to be addressed in the long term to make sure that our league is run professionally. What are other areas do you feel that he needs to come in and address? And the election of Zim Football, do you think he was the right person to take over? And your take on that, on his election victory?
Unfortunately for me, I can say he might be the right person, not be the right person, because I never casted a vote for him.
All right.
But I just wish him all the best so that he does his job well. All right. If you look at Zimbabwean football currently at its stats, especially the PSL, not looking at the lower divisions, our football doesn't have continuity. By continuity, what I'm trying to say is, if you go back about 20 years back, the quality of football was not coming from buying like what is happening today. It was coming from a club setup that had juniors. The policies of junior football, they abandoned it. All those teams must have policies that have junior football and a women's team. so that they can have feeder.
Am I allowed to disagree with that?
No, you're allowed. It's your thought.
You know why? I am one advocate for junior police.
Yes.
One, and you know I'm a product of that. I played that. But I think there is an exaggeration when people say, like what my brother said, quality was a result of the product. You want to go back. Let's go back to, he says 20 years ago, for example. So let's go to Cape United 2004. Right. How many players were produced from Cape United in that side? You've got to spend, you have 3, 4, 5 years. That's what I'm saying. But, you know, sometimes I think that statement.
That is the continuity.
Listen, that statement.
The culture is.
Listen, you know the advantage of having proper junior police, if you ask me. Yes, you're going to have a larger pool to pick from. Because here is the thing. We now think that some quarters think that Dynamos is in a situation that it is in because it doesn't have juniors.
But they do have juniors, but they don't have quality.
Yet it's more to do with the administrative side of the team. That guy has messed up everything, right? If you go, yeah, obviously, I don't think that's the best way to run that club. But when it comes to juniors, you know, big teams like Dynamos, Islanders, Cape United, I will maintain those are the big teams. If you go back even to history, Darlington Islanders who have good players, these players will come and play for Cape United. They will come and play for Dynamos. Five parties will have Louis Boutin go and play for Islanders. But they will have an Austin Joy go to Islanders. Why? Because they'll produce these players.
But my point was, yes, it's an age. That's why I'm saying junior policy is continuity. Continuity for development. It doesn't mean we are playing for one club.
I do not have. That's why I said I do not dispute the fact to say we need a sound junior policy. But I'm saying sometimes we need to clarify when we talk about the situation and junior police. We need to be clear on what exactly we are saying.
He spoke of continuity for clubs to be able to tap into these players. Players are being groomed at a very right age, and clubs can find a great talent and conservation of the culture. Let's go back to that.
Like I can say, Mafios.
Yeah.
Right. Let me just go for Mafios. He's a junior product. Remember, we also had Peter Love at that young age.
A junior product of who?
Not for his one club. All right. When we say development, he's not from. Yeah, I know. He's from. I think he was from Lions Academy, if I'm not mistaken. But the benefits of junior football, we are now seeing it.
Exactly.
He only played last year. I think he was. Is it? I don't know. Yeah. And then Islanders took him this year. But boom, 50,000 or whatever was paid to Islanders. They make money.
With juniors, junior development, you cannot go wrong. That's we agree on that. I was just saying, sometimes we need a bit of clarity.
We need to continue with Mupfurutsa.
Okay. So for me, the PSL chairman, I say well done. He has to look also into the FIFA Connect program. So we align our clubs also with what is required. Every player, whether coming from the junior setups or the ladies teams, must be accounted for. We do not need shortcuts anymore in football. And also when
cheating,
no, cheating will never eradicate it, but we'll try to minimize it. Because even in Brazil, in Europe, they are doing it. But when it comes to Zimbabwe, Bevan is saying, look at Ruben, but and it's business. Football is business. Sakatage told about it, Ipababa, Kwatiri Suzu as the chairman, Fubata was actually in order. And when the transfers, let them run smoothly. Registration, let it run smoothly. Contracts between clubs and players must be done professionally. Zonoti anafaz wazopinda pa wono pai we don't want such things. And it's
my players are sign up for 2 clubs.
Can also sign up for 2 clubs. Wakapinda kukamkati uwezi wajana jitoti.
Bebe, let's look at Mupfurutsa for you.
Yeah, well,
and then we get to the appointment of Chido Chizondo as well for the women.
My take is it covers both actually. You've got to, although Chido has a lot to do as compared to Mupfurutsa. My take is what we need to do is we are not getting the best out of what we potentially can get from our football. You look at the numbers that Scotland are raking in now, the numbers the numbers that Islanders rake in. Even Caps United now, I was looking at their like the last game against Islanders. I think they've been a bit consistent now. They're raking in the good numbers. So the game has become a multi-billion-dollar business. The commercial side of the game has to improve big time. And no disrespect to the sponsors, they are all the friends. That is Castle. They have been there. They have at least given branding to the game. But in terms of sponsorship, they have to, I don't know what they're going to move mountains to make sure that it's viable. I alluded to how Scotland signing of 3 big names has valorized them, the league as it were. You want to also have the PSL playing ball in that regard to say we need to have sponsors. I grew up in a setup where the league was congested even with tournaments. You had your BP Cup, you had your Castle Cup, you had your Madison, you had it was just Zifa Unity Kings kid that's talking about, you get it. And before us there were even more, you get it. So we want, imagine a situation whereby a club will buy a player for an amount that is more than what they are going to win if they win the league. So that when it's on, So exactly, when you see that happens, I think even in your agreements or in engagements with sponsors, you've got to leave a room to have latitude to renegotiate within the process, so that when big guns like Scotland are shooting like that, you can then go and say, but can we
look at what is Scotland is doing? We need something better.
We can improve. So the commercial side, Mr. Mupfurutsa, it's what you've got to look. There is a lot that can happen. The social media has presented a lot in terms of.
Even Bevy is got a consultancy paper for you.
Revenue gaps. So let's. So let's have that. Then. The biggest elephant in the room now.
Women's football.
It's a facility.
Yeah, facilities.
I don't know what could be done.
Is a challenge.
Maybe we can have a compromise. Yes, and say there are certain games that can be played at you see, I've said it.
Also, why can't we get universities to do something for us in terms of our sport and infrastructure? I think they have a pivotal role to play. For me, I would engage universities across the country because they've got
those facilities are there.
But they just need revival and sprucing up, and then
you can have naturally get the uses that you can.
I think you can
do that.
Well, that's a quality stadium.
You can have that. So I think these are aspects that he also needs to be pushing. There is land. If the likes of what's his name, quick thing.
Yeah, but
Chawanda.
I think individuals it's to be better because if the rentals finish Ziwarasekwa, and the Chawanda Stadium has got Hard Rock or any other team that is going to come there, or maybe Shisham comes back, and I think they've got their.
Shisham are coming back.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. I think the teams that are coming in now,
they've got better facilities.
If DeMbare comes, probably they'll be you have their own stadium as well. So it will be quite interesting with the development. But let's talk about women's football. You're talking about what Chido has. It's huge and it's bigger headache than anybody's, as you speak.
Yeah, definitely, because this is a side of our game that unfortunately we did not treat fairly. The investment in that side has not been good. Yet, in all fairness, I think our chances of success are more in that side than the male counterparts. You look, now it has been on the nosedive, it was going down. There are teams that would beat to a pulp, teams that would not even think about. Now, Botswana, they're playing the AFCON. We are not there. Zambia, they were not at our level, but they are way above now. Exactly. Now, so we would compete with Banyana for regional dominance. Yes. Now we don't have that. I think there was something Mavis Gumbo was doing right. That somehow we ignored. I think I would advise Chido, being young and a bit vibrant, you sit down with the likes of Mavis Gumbo. How are you guys doing this? What is it that you're doing? There is no way you are going to run football now and neglect the commercial aspect. There are a lot of institutions or corporates that would run with women issues. Let's bring those on board. Do you know most of the issues that are there, Valentine? If they are investors and there is money, within a week you are solving them. So what Chido is faced with is to make the women's game appealing, so that we need to have a properly run league. The way we have Cape United versus Dynamos, the way we have Triangle versus MWOS, we need to have that consistently, week in, week out. You know what that does? You're going to bring a lot of people.
And the media will play a pivotal role in coverage of these games, because it looks like we're investing a lot into the men's game, and there's no that media engagement to say the media, we need you as our partner.
Exactly. They need
the reason now? If we support the girl child, more sponsors will come on board, to be honest with you. Rather than they are there. Even our local brands or companies, they will come on board. For once, I was shocked to go and watch Dynamos versus Scotland at Harare High School. The state of the pitch was very bad. But we are saying these are the same people who are going to represent us. Our mothers going to represent us at the national level. If they play at a school field that is not even well maintained. So why can't we, for the girl child, I believe if we can partner for Chido, I think if she can partner with the State Council, we get 3 or 4 sports clubs that can be.
Which State Council is that?
No. No, we've got to. Yeah, it's true. The State Council, I mean, to maintain. But they did. But they did. Even those trees.
You know what? Just a few days ago, you and I were in Tar. In fact, yesterday we were in Tar. Tell them about the playing surface Yes. And you look at Rufaro Stadium, you're like, okay.
But
previously we have been to Gib.
Yeah.
Tell them about
the number of games that are being played.
Okay, let's move. We also, during the same traveling week, we were at Greenfield Sports Arena. Tell them about the playing surface.
Yeah, true.
So
it's like that. What are you understanding? Because not a groundsman. My groundsman, those are city council for an employer. But I still not sure it. I don't work at that ground.
But the problem is we training in ground. Ground next day.
Baby, problem ngiyitika. Ndiye kupota mchipabasa bona anonzi groundsman. Because groundsman unanenge achingofamba munzi pane basa obva tongoya kutongoita kana inini wetu kwanisa kuzviita. Kune vanhu vanofana kuzviita zvinhu zviya.
Yeah, because Rufaro Stadium.
But guys, the week before this coming weekend, big matches are on this coming week. We can't speak for, and I would love to hear your predictions because these are important games. Let's start with Dynamos versus MWOS. Guys, big match for Dynamos and a big match for MWOS. Because MWOS need to snap out of their draws and losses trend for the past few games, 4 games now. They can't snap out of it, as it were. Doubt, your take, Dynamos MWOS?
I give it to MWOS.
Bevan?
No, MWOS will be a problem to Dynamos on the field of play, especially Abubakar Moffat that I told you about. It's going to be a problem. But Dynamos will win that game. Okay.
My question.
Yes, okay.
Who will score for Dynamos?
Doesn't matter. Dynamos will win.
Don't so I would say to
What you have to understand? What you have to understand in football. Listen,
but now what you have to starting.
Listen, well, it doesn't matter that one. I think if I were the coach next season, I won't be having such players at Dynamos. Listen. Right. At this stage, it's not about the strikers. It's about everyone scoring. Right. So, if it means certain players that I know will be at Dynamos, if they are registered in time, they will score. You believe there are certain people who are going to score for Dynamos? I know. Dynamos will win. I know.
Big game for Manica Diamonds and the big game for Tel 1, if they want to resuscitate their title challenge and be up there, they take on Manica Diamonds.
That's Manica Diamonds.
Yes,
Tel 1. It's Tel 1. They are losing.
For me, Tel 1, they are on a roll. I'll give that one to Tel 1.
Tel 1 win.
Simba Bhora face another relegation threat inside. Difficult game. Simba Bhora versus Chicken. Doubt.
Simba Bhora at home.
Yes, Simba Bhora at home.
Simba Bhora.
Simba Bhora.
Yes.
They'll win.
Yes.
Simba Bhora versus Chicken.
Simba Bhora. If it's it's Simba Bhora.
It's Simba Bhora.
It's Simba Bhora.
All right. ZPC Kariba and Greenfield.
I see Greenfield coming out with a draw.
Draw. As well as ZPC draw masters.
Yeah.
Difficult for me to call. I'm not sure about that.
It's a draw. If you're not sure about that, it's a draw.
Yada take on Triangle. This is a relegation game. Big.
In that stadium.
At the half.
There's nothing big. Triangle was losing.
At least they'll gain 3 points.
Triangle is losing. This guy is dear.
No, I'm saying that they don't.
Do you know that they actually play one of the best versions of football? I know. Yada.
But they're getting relegated.
Oh, you're joking.
You see.
Yada will grow to be one of the oldest teams in the league. They will not be Yada. Unless the prophet passes on. But as long as the prophet is there. Oh, you're joking.
Alright, this one is a straightforward one. I don't expect you guys to argue much longer. Rangers versus Kwekwe United.
What's so straightforward?
Come on.
You see that? You see the danger creators like
given up.
You know what? But they
don't win against the Dynamos.
They don't win against the
Yes, you guys.
Alright. What's your prediction?
At home, Rangers will win. I was just. To play against a team that is nothing to do.
Then Pikita, they are at the Gibo. They lost for the first time.
They are losing.
Last weekend, they lost 2 consecutive games at the Gibo.
They are losing.
That a bad week for them. They're taking on Caps.
They are losing.
You
know what?
Caps are
on the road. They have got a big game going.
All right. Then finally, taking on Kukona, Kurega, Kurara. I'm not
Oh, Madame. Oh, that's it. That's a BF.
That's a BF.
One team that is difficult to break down is Ngezi. On a good day.
But this year,
they've been blowing what we called. I think there are certain issues that happen.
I think for the past 2 seasons actually.
In the
background.
Yeah, I feel because the consistency is shocking.
But they are. But do you know one thing? They're on 38 points.
Yeah,
they're there. 36 points.
Two games.
But for me, they're doing well.
Yeah.
They're doing well.
But the inconsistency
that can hinder their progress.
Yeah. What's your prediction? Islanders Ngezi at Emagumeni.
Currently with the Sugar away to Scotland now. For me, I don't see Islanders taking 3 points. I think the best out of this game is a draw for Islanders.
Give you a draw.
Listen, a draw for Islanders if they play well. but I can see Ngezi grinding out.
Sisingele lapha display khona lapha sifuna one out of the 3.
Wakundidzipa pa.
Yeah, zipa ngoba sathi.
But Emagumeni.
Loss.
Ngezi atimoti draw.
Draw. Perfect.
Ngezi win.
Ngezi win. All right, that's what I wanted. Then the big one. FC Platinum, Scotland. Doubt.
I'll go for AFC Platinum on this one. Vakomana vanoita kuti bhora richedze paruswa.
I do not see Scotland losing at this stage.
All right.
The worst that will happen to Scotland is a draw.
And the draw is a good result.
For them, it's a good result. They are not going to lose this.
Is a draw a good result for both teams?
At this stage, it's a win-win situation.
Okay.
Both nobody wants to win this game. There are two. Remember, like what we said earlier, FC Platinum, last week, they were 9 points behind, but now they are 3 points behind with the game in hand.
No, it's not a game in hand, actually. It's a game that they are getting. That's the abandoned game.
Yeah,
all right. They get the 3 points.
Did they get it? They got it.
They got it. I think the long standing is not yet showing that. But I think that's a given.
All right, gentlemen.
So they are a point behind the local leaders.
Running ball, N-Course. Thank you for making time. Thank you.
Tutenda baba, tutenda tumwesei.
Okay.
Hey, Baba, let's take it ready. We are good.
Zenza njani ndwa. Thina siyagqiba lapho Samaita idube ozithembileyo. Ngithi ngiyabonga N-Course. Thank you for watching Strictly Football. Let's do this again same time next week. Signing out. My name is Valentine. I book on behalf of the crew behind the scenes. We say bye-bye and take care for loved ones. Love them deep and love them forever. Till next time, keep it strictly football.